Hello my friends, thanks for stopping by. I hope you're all having a great day. Today I thought I would do a little bonus video for you. No makeup, no skincare involved. This is only on books that I have been reading this summer. I like good book recommendations. I like new author recommendations. If you watch Michelle from Makeup MLC, she also does book reviews. I think there are several on YouTube, but I don't go and watch any of them. I pick up books that you guys mention, or, you know, I'll just browse through the bookstore and I find something that really appeals to me. Many people say, why don't I get a Kindle? I'm one of those people. I like the feel of a book in my hand. Please and thank you. All right, so I thought I have 5 books here. One I mentioned before, but I thought I would mention it again because I did mention it in a haul, and I thought I would specifically mention it in a book review in case you are someone who does not watch the hauls. The first 2 books are by the same author, and if you like Gone Girl, you will like the way this author writes. I liked one of the books, and I disliked one of them. I didn't dislike it, it just didn't rock my world. And I am the type of person that a book has to catch me within the first 150 pages. And how does a book catch me? Either with the opening criminal act or very interesting characters. I am drawn to characters that have a lot of personality, dysfunction or positive, it doesn't matter. And I also, if there's a good criminal act in the beginning, because you all know I love thrillers, I like serial killer books. What can I say? Dexter was my favorite show on television. All right, let's get started on the books. They are both by, and I believe I will say her name either wrong or right. And these 2 books are by Mary Kubica. And they are The Good Girl and Pretty Baby. I will start with the one that I liked least. As I mentioned, the characters did nothing for me in this book. The 2 lead characters I felt were incredibly boring. And the character that I found myself laughing from time to time was the husband. And they're a husband and wife who have a strained relationship to begin with. The daughter of this couple is an absolute brat. And the mother sees a girl out on the street with a baby and takes her into her home, takes them into her home. And then the story just kind of spirals. You can see that it interferes with her marriage. The daughter is just a spoiled, rotten brat. But it's just a weird kind of story for me. I did complete this one because every now and then I would think, okay, it's going to really go someplace because the husband's character would be a little intriguing, and then it would just kind of fizzle out on me. So this book did not do it for me, and the ending didn't wow me. Actually, they call it a psychological thriller. There's no thrill to this book. There's no thriller part of this book. So I don't know why it's being put as a psychological thriller. There's some psychological problems in the book, but thriller, I don't know about. Anyway, didn't do it for me. Now the second one that I talk about by the same author, Mary Kubica, this one did. There are 4 main characters in this one, and one is a kidnapped girl, one is the kidnapper, one is the mother of the kidnapped girl, and one is the detective. All characters have something appealing, or they're charismatic. Even when you're reading the words off a page, they come to life for you. That's what I look for in the character of a book. And then it has a really good twist at the end. Again, not my usual serial killer criminal type of book, but I read this one in probably a week and a half. And, you know, I'm glad I read it, but I'm not saying this is the book that I mentioned that you have to go out and get. Okay, the next 3, if you like the same kind of books as me, you have to get all 3 of them. They are phenomenal. But this one here, of the 2, I would recommend The Good Girl. Pretty Baby just didn't do it for me. And like I said, if you liked Gone Girl, you will like these books. Okay? The next one is the first time I've ever read anything from this author. And this is Dee Henderson, and it says she's the author of the best-selling book Full Disclosure, which I have not read. But I think from just things that I briefly read about this, the full disclosure has a main character that is in this book also, but she's not the main character in this book. I don't really care for her. She's a little too good as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, Traces of Guilt. This is a Ivy Blackwell cold case. It'll probably end up being a series of books. She is a cop, detective, who has been assigned by a new program. There's a new program that the governor is creating, and she has been assigned to go into Caron County, Illinois, and she meets up with the local sheriff there, whose father was sheriff before him, and he has 2 brothers. And a lot of characters are brought into this book, each connecting to one of the brothers, and each needing to settle something either from the past or, well, yes, from the past. So it's all like they all have their own little cold cases going on. And Ivy goes in to solve these 2 of the cases, which are tied to some of the other cases. Anyway, I liked this book. I felt that all of the characters, the Gabriel Thane, the Thane family, they're the brothers and the father. They're a little, let's just say they're like perfect men that don't really exist, okay? But anyway, it's a fast read, and the characters, each one of them is interesting, and the cases are interesting that they're working on. So I really, really did like this book. Now, I think that this author brings a lot of Christian religion into her books, because there was some in this. I don't know if some would find that offensive, but I think she may have been a Christian writer before this, or she's very, very religious in her own personal life, because it does come through. It doesn't overtake the book or anything like that, because you know, that would have just been like, okay, let's go, let's get on with the story. But she intermingles it into the story and makes it nice, okay? So that's that. The next one is one I have read every single book this woman has put out. The series that I read is all about the Amish. It's about a cop, a detective. She's actually chief of police, Kate Burkholder. And she solves crimes, murders, all kinds of things in Amish country. And what makes her unique and interesting is that she was born and raised Amish, and she decided to leave and go into the Englisher way of life. And if you know anything about the Amish, they don't really trust the Englisher way of life and the police. They like to solve everything within their own little community. So Kate has to go undercover in this book in a different county, different state, New York State, and she is going undercover. So it's a very, very quick read, very interesting. I love learning about the Amish. There's stuff in this book that I would have never known in all of her books. I wouldn't have known anything about the Amish. And I like that I'm still reading my suspense, but I'm learning something. So I highly recommend reading all of this author if you like that kind of story. Another great author is Karen Slaughter. She's another one of my most favorite is Karen Slaughter. Just love her. And her series with Teint, oh, fabulous. All right, so the next book I actually mentioned in one of my clothing haul videos, and I thought I would mention it again because some don't watch the hauls. And this book here was so good. I actually had thought that it would be a series, and the author actually sent me an email. He did not send me this book. I know nothing about David Swinson. He knows nothing about Crazy Miss Tammy. But his publisher was watching my video when I talked about his book. So she obviously told him, and he sent me an email thanking me for mentioning his book, and also that he was glad that I enjoyed it, and that he hopes that whoever I passed my book on to enjoys it as much as I did. And yes, this will be a series, and the next one will be out September 2017. I wish they could write faster. But anyway, it is The Second Girl by David Swinson. Now, I don't know if he's written any other books. He's a retired police detective, and he served 16 years with the Washington Metropolitan Police Department before joining the DC Police. Swinson was a record store owner in Seal Beach, California, a punk rock alternative concert promoter in Long Beach, California, and a music video producer and independent filmmaker in Los Angeles. Swinson currently lives in Northern Virginia with his wife, daughter, bull mastiff, and bearded dragon. So that's, I don't really know much about this author other than this book. And he also said that he would be buying his wife some Donald Pliner shoes. Because that's the video that he was watching, or she was watching, he wasn't. Anyway, the second girl, the lead character in this is Frank Marr. He is he's not retired, he was forced into retirement because he has a little bit of a drug problem. And no one really knows about his drug problem. And I think that because he was in narcotics, and you know sometimes what happens, they go so deep undercover that they themselves become drug addicts. Well, he does some unsavory things to get his next fix, but he has himself, he knows how to get himself up there and get himself down. Anyway, in this book, he stumbles across a kidnapped girl or a girl being chained to a bathroom sink, and the story just goes on from there. And he's looked at as a hero, and I don't want to give too much away, but he is looked at as if he's a big hero because he found this girl when in fact he was doing the down and dirty when he was trying to get to her, and you'll know what I mean. Anyway, this is a fabulous read. I read it very quickly, 2 days, 3 days max. The character, if you've ever watched Dexter, you know Dexter, he was a serial killer. He was doing things wrong. This guy's not a serial killer, but he goes by his own rules now, and like I said, he's got demons inside of him, deep inside of him, and it doesn't seem like he's trying to rectify those demons anytime soon. He does have a love interest in the book. Anyway, I love this character. He is lovable. He is, he's like Dexter. You know Dexter he's not a bad person. He just got his little demons, but you can't help but love him. So I highly recommend The Second Girl by David Swinson. And I only wish that the authors could write faster, but we know they can't. And Linda Castillo, Among the Wicked, this one is called. She has, let me see if they have them listed here. In this series, there are 7 books before it. The first one, Sworn to Silence, actually was made into a movie for TV. Pray for Silence, Breaking Silence, Gone Missing, Her Last Breath, The Dead Will Tell. I liked The Dead Will Tell. And After the Storm. All great books. All great books. Again, Traces of Guilt by Dee Henderson. The Good Girl by Mary Kubica. This was my favorite of the two, and my least favorite book was Pretty Baby by Mary Kubica. So let me know in the comments what you've been reading. Did any of you go out and get the David Swinson book to read, maybe on your Kindle? I like to turn the pages, but if you did you enjoy the read? And let me know what some of your favorite thriller, suspense, legal thrillers, detective thrillers, those kind of books I like. I do read other books. I read The Kennedy Women. I read a lot of other books, but I mean, this is my preference because this is my, you know, it's my me time, my enjoyable time. Of course, you all know that I research things up the, you know what, wazoo, and so those come out of different kind of books. But for entertainment, this is the type of book I like to read. So let me know what you think, and thanks for stopping by. Don't forget, subscribe. We're anti-aging here. Be happy, healthy, beautiful, and most of all, my friends, lovable. I love you all. Bisous.